Have you ever poured your energy into something, maybe a personal project or a community thing, something bigger, and then you stop and think, okay, did that actually work?
Yeah.
Was it really worth all the effort?
It's a really common feeling, isn't it? Wanting to know if you made a real difference.
Exactly. Well, today we're taking a deep dive into monitoring and evaluation, or M&E, if you'll hear it called.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically the field dedicated to answering those big questions, making sure we're not just, busy, but actually effective, doing the right things.
That sums it up nicely. We've got some pretty detailed sources here on M&E definitions, frameworks, how it works in practice.
So what's our mission today?
Our mission really is to unpack all of this for you, give you a clear sense of what M&E actually is, why it's, well, pretty much essential, and how it helps make projects successful globally.
Consider it your guide to understanding impact.
Yeah.
Get ready for some, hopefully, aha moments as we look at the tools and thinking behind it all. It's about improvement, right?
Continuous improvement, that's the goal.
Okay, then. Let's dive in. Let's start right at the beginning. M&E. 2 parts. Monitoring. What exactly is monitoring?
Okay, so monitoring. Think of it as the dashboard or the GPS for your project while it's running.
Okay.
It's this ongoing process, constantly collecting and looking at data to see how things are going. Are we efficient? Are we on track?
So not waiting till the very end.
Exactly. You get real-time feedback. Big players like the UNDP, the OECD, they describe it as this continuous function. It gives stakeholders, the people involved, early signs of progress, or maybe lack of progress.
So you can adjust course.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It helps you understand what's happening as it happens so you can keep the project on the rails.
Right, that GPS analogy works well.
Yeah.
And your description flags sort of 3 key things about monitoring for me.
Go on.
1, it's continuous, not a one-off check. 2, it needs regular data because, well, you don't make decisions blind, right? You need evidence.
Absolutely. Evidence-based.
And 3, it helps you spot problems early. See what's working, what isn't, where you need to tweak things. It's dynamic.
Perfectly put. It's that constant feedback loop.
Okay, so if monitoring is the ongoing checkup, the GPS, what about evaluation? Is it just like more monitoring or something different?
It's definitely different, though they work together. If monitoring is the GPS, evaluation is maybe more like the full service check after a long trip, or maybe a review of the whole journey plan.
Ah, okay.
It's a specific process, usually done at certain points, maybe midway or at the end, to really objectively assess, did the project achieve what it set out to do? And importantly, why or why not?
So more selective.
Yes, a more selective exercise. Monitoring asks, what are we doing? How are we doing it? Evaluation asks, did we succeed? And what can we learn from that?
Gotcha.
The OECD, for example, calls it a systematic assessment. Looking at the design, the rollout, the results. It's about gathering solid evidence to judge the project's value, its significance.
And learning lessons, you said.
Critically, learning lessons for the future. The real goal is to figure out its relevance, its efficiency, effectiveness, the impact it had, and its sustainability. Will the good stuff last?
So it provides credible info.
Exactly. Credible, useful information so that decision makers can actually learn from what happened.
Which means evaluation isn't just looking back. It's really practical for moving forward. It helps make those tough calls about where to put resources, how to design better programs next time.
Precisely. It supports those evidence-based decisions, turns reflection into smarter action down the line.
Okay, so distinct jobs for monitoring and evaluation.
Yeah.
I guess that means there are different types of monitoring too, depending on what you're focusing on.
Yes, absolutely. You can monitor different things. For example, there's results monitoring. That's pretty straightforward. Are we hitting the targets we set?
Makes sense.
Then you've got process monitoring, sometimes called activity monitoring. This looks at whether the actual activities are being done as planned. Like, are the workshops happening? Are the materials getting distributed?
Right, the mechanics.
Exactly. There's also compliance monitoring, making sure you're following the rules, the regulations, and context monitoring, keeping an eye on the outside world. Has a policy changed? Has there been a drought? Things that affect the project.
External factors.
And we also see beneficiary monitoring, which is crucial, focusing on the experience of the people the project is actually for. How are they finding it?
That seems vital.
It is.
Yeah.
And of course, financial monitoring. Got to track the money. So yeah, lots of different angles to look from while things are in progress.
Okay, a whole suite of monitoring types. What about evaluation? Does that also have different flavors depending on the goal or timing?
It does. Similar idea. You tailor the evaluation approach. A common one is process evaluation. This often happens during the project.
While it's running.
Yeah. It checks if the implementation itself is going okay. Is it cost efficient? Is the quality there? It's often about fine-tuning things as you go.
Like an internal review.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's a really interesting one called clarificatory evaluation, or sometimes a valuability assessment.
Evaluability.
Yeah, it's kind of a pre-evaluation check. It asks, can this program even be evaluated properly? It helps clarify the program's logic, sees how it works in the real world, and sometimes helps tweak the design so it is evaluable.
Ah, so you don't waste time trying to evaluate something that's like too fuzzy.
Exactly. Saves a lot of resources and headache later on. Then, moving towards results, you have outcomes evaluation.
Okay.
This measures the changes in people or their situations. Did health improve? Did incomes rise? And crucially, was our project a factor in that change?
Trying to link cause and effect.
Pretty much. And closely related is impact assessment. It's similar to outcomes, but often looks at broader, longer-term changes. The big picture stuff, intended or even unintended consequences.
Right, the ripple effects.
That's a good way to put it.
This is all very systematic. To do it well, especially the evaluation part, you must need some kind of standard benchmark, right? Some criteria everyone agrees on.
You absolutely do. Otherwise, it's just opinions. And that's where frameworks like the DAE OECD criteria for evaluation come in. They're widely used.
OECD.
Yep. It gives everyone a common language, a shared understanding of what good looks like in development projects, but they're useful almost anywhere. There are 6 main criteria.
Okay, what are...
First, relevance. Is the project actually addressing a real need, doing the right thing? Second, coherence. Does it fit well with other interventions or policies? Is it internally consistent?
Logical fit.
Third, effectiveness. Did it achieve its goals? Did it work? Fourth, efficiency. Did it use resources well? Good value for money. Bang for buck.
Always important.
Fifth, impact. What were the wider effects, positive and negative, long-term? And sixth, sustainability. Will the benefits last after the funding stops?
Will it stick?
Exactly. Using these 6 helps ensure you're looking at the project from all the key angles in a standardized way.
Okay, those criteria make sense. But to even know if you're meeting them, you need that initial plan, that sort of roadmap of how you think the project will actually cause change. You mentioned program theory or theory of change.
Yes, absolutely fundamental. A program theory, or theory of change often called 2C, is basically your hypothesis laid out in detail.
Your best guess of how it works.
More than a guess, ideally. It's a structured explanation. It's often described as a series of if-then statements. If we do activity X, then we expect output Y because of assumption Z.
Including the because.
Yes, the because is crucial. It maps out all the steps, the assumptions, the preconditions, the whole causal chain linking what you do, your inputs and activities, to what you hope to achieve, the outputs, outcomes, and ultimately the impact.
So it makes your thinking explicit?
Exactly. Explicit and testable. It shows the journey from resources to results.
Now, I've also heard the term logic frame or log frame. How does that fit in? Is it the same as a theory of change?
That's a really common question. They're related, but not quite the same thing. A log frame is usually a tool, often a matrix, like a table with 4 columns.
Okay.
It summarizes the key elements, the goal, the objectives, the outputs, the activities, and often the indicators and assumptions too. It's a fantastic snapshot for planning and reporting.
A summary tool.
Right. A logic model is similar, often more visual, like a flowchart showing those links. The key difference, though, is depth.
How so?
While a log frame or logic model might just show an arrow saying activity A leads to output B, the theory of change is the narrative behind that arrow. It explains why you believe A leads to B, what assumptions you're making, what the evidence is.
So the 2C is the detailed story. The log frame is the summary chart.
You got it. The log frame is often a visual representation of the underlying, more detailed theory of change.
Okay, that clarifies things. Now, all of this monitoring progress, evaluating against criteria, testing a theory of change, it all comes down to having good data. And that means good indicators.
Absolutely critical. Indicators are your signposts. They tell you if you're moving in the right direction.
I know SMART indicators, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound, they seem pretty standard.
They are very widely used and very useful. They force clarity. But our sources also mention another set, clean indicators.
Clean. Okay, tell me about those.
CLEAN stands for clear, is it unambiguous? Relevant, does it actually measure something important to the project? Economic, can we afford to collect data on it?
Practicality.
Exactly. Adequate, is it enough to assess performance? And monitorable, can we actually track it realistically? So SMART focuses on the indicator itself. Clean adds that layer of practical feasibility.
Both useful frameworks then.
Definitely. And of course, you have different types, quantitative, numbers,
Yeah.
and qualitative descriptive insights. Both are valuable.
And you mentioned something, disaggregation, breaking them down.
Yes, super important. Disaggregation means breaking down your indicator data by different groups. Like geographically, are results different in the north versus the south? Temporally, are things changing over time?
Okay.
And crucially, demographically, who is benefiting? Are there differences by gender, by age group, by ethnicity? If you don't disaggregate, you might hit your overall target, but miss the fact that, say, women aren't benefiting as much as men.
So it's about equity and seeing the nuances.
Precisely. It ensures you're not just looking at averages that hide important variations.
Got it. So M&E isn't just this separate activity happening on the side. It sounds like it needs to be baked into the whole project process.
Yeah.
How does it fit with, say, project cycle management?
You're spot on. It can't be an afterthought. Project cycle management, or PCM, is just the term for how projects are typically managed from start to finish.
The life cycle.
Yeah, the life cycle. Sources talk about these progressive phases.
Yeah.
You start by identifying a need, then you prepare a project plan, appraise its feasibility, maybe negotiate funding, then you implement it, and finally you have supervision and evaluation. It's a cycle.
So where does M&E slot in?
Everywhere. That's the key takeaway. Monitoring needs to happen throughout the implementation and supervision phases. And evaluation. Its findings feed right back into identifying new needs and preparing future projects. It closes the loop.
So it's integrated, not separate.
It has to be integrated to be truly effective. It informs every stage.
Okay, this is starting to sound like quite a complex system to set up properly within an organization. Lots of moving parts. What are the really crucial things an organization needs to get right for good M&E? Is there a sort of checklist of key ingredients?
There are definitely key elements. The World Bank, for instance, lays out about 12 core components for M&E planning. We don't need to list them all exhaustively, but some really stand out.
Give us the highlights.
Okay, first is organization. How is M&E actually structured? Who's responsible? Then skills. Do people have the right training? Sometimes you need specific auditing or data analysis skills.
People power.
Absolutely. M&E partnerships are often key to collaborating with others, can bring in expertise or resources. And obviously, you need an M&E plan.
The roadmap.
The roadmap, what gets collected, by who, when, where, all spelled out. And it needs a budget. M&E isn't free. You have to resource it.
Often overlooked, I bet.
Can be. Then there's advocacy and communication. You need to champion M&E, share the findings, build relationships so people actually use the information.
Make it part of the culture.
Exactly. Then the practical stuff. Processes for collecting, capturing, and verifying data. That includes routine monitoring alongside things like baseline, midline, and endline surveys. You need good databases to manage all this info.
Data management.
Critical. Then the evaluation and research itself, often involving external experts for objectivity. And the final, most important piece.
Let me guess. Using the information.
You got it. Utilization of information to improve programming. All the data collection and analysis is pointless if it doesn't lead to learning and better results next time.
That makes total sense. You mentioned stakeholders earlier and communication. Who you involve seems really critical in all this. Tell us a bit more about stakeholder analysis.
Right. Stakeholder analysis is fundamental. You have to figure out who has a stake in the project and its M&E. Who cares about it? Who can influence it? Who is affected by it?
Why is that so important for M&E?
Well, different stakeholders have different information needs, different levels of power. Some might be crucial allies, others might need careful management. Our sources mention using a stakeholder matrix.
A matrix.
Yeah, basically a grid. You map stakeholders based on their interest in the project, low or high, and their influence or power, again, low or high.
Okay, so 4 boxes.
Exactly. High interest, high influence people, you need to manage them closely, keep them fully engaged. High interest, low influence, keep them informed. Low interest, high influence, keep them satisfied, maybe consult them on key points. Low interest, low influence, monitor them, minimal effort.
So it helps you tailor your engagement strategy.
Yeah, precisely. It ensures you're talking to the right people in the right way, getting the buy-in you need for M&E to actually work and for its findings to be accepted and used.
Very practical. And just one more practical point. What sort of tools, like software, do people typically use? And can you give us a concrete example of how an indicator might actually be calculated, just to make it real?
Sure. On the software side, it's often not super fancy.